Hey, Retcon Raider here, and welcome back to episode 5 of my ongoing Let's Play Battle Brothers series. Last time we took on a few bandits, had a few close calls, but everything more or less panned out okay. Now I've taken care of a bit of off-screen bookkeeping, as usual. The first thing you'll notice is that we're now working with a full 12-man squad, a fully functional battle squadron. Now, there are a few new faces on the team, of course. First up, we have Ishizu the Blade, a former juggler turned mercenary. Now, he has some pretty decently placed stars. They could be better, but I think he's got the makings of a decent mercenary, and I just couldn't bear to get rid of his hat. Then we have Vlad Kapesh, an apprentice with the determined and superstitious traits, which somewhat cancel each other out, but he makes up for it with some very solid star placement. Now, it's also important to note that a couple of in-game days have passed since the last episode. I wanted to take some time off so that all of our mercenaries could heal up. We don't have any more serious injuries to deal with. I've gone to towns like New Farn and Wiederfest here, mostly on caravan runs, and I did do an artifact recovery mission out there in the woods. No battling, though. I just ducked in, grabbed the artifacts, and ran. But I did notice this small group of brigands while I was heading to another town, so I went ahead and paused it there. We're running critically low on morale, so I thought this might be a good chance to go ahead and break in our new members with their first real battle. So, that said, let's get in there. Some interesting jagged terrain, but I think this is going to be a pretty easy battle. They have no range support, so they're just going to have to rush right at us. Yeah, and half these guys don't even have shields, so I'll just pick them off before they can even reach us. Not really sure who's worth prioritizing here. I think I'll just go for demoralizing them in general. Sprinkle a few crippling injuries across their ranks. Always bothers me a little bit when the elevated terrain gets cut off like that, but I guess it's not a big deal. Just a little jarring. Alright, they're already getting pretty close, so I'm going to set up my spear wall, of course. Now for my second volley of arrows. They have arranged themselves so that I don't have a lot of open shots. Oh, there we go. That was Bunny, I think, getting the first kill of the battle. And Mark Richards almost getting the second kill, but that is a crippling injury. These guys are already in pretty sorry shape. And there's Fox getting the second kill. So these guys haven't even come in contact with us yet, and we've already dropped 2 of them. That's not a bad start. Keep those shields at the ready, and those spears prepped for incoming. I didn't even notice that guy's morale had already broken. Wonder if I can shoot him down before he escapes. Oh, looks like we have contact. Alright, so 2 brigands have engaged Siren on the north side of our battle line. We've got 2 more guys who appear to be making a beeline to wrap around. I guess I should move my guys to contain that. Siren tearing off that guy's ear with a well-placed spear thrust. Move one of our newbies up. Shizu the Blade's arrival alone was enough to cause those 2 guys to panic. I think we'll see great things from a Shizu. Henry Baggins, our dedicated shield bro. Snaps that guy's arm like a twig. Here comes volley number 3 from our archers. This cluster I think my melee guys can handle, so I'll just focus fire on these 2 stragglers back here. You can't reach the guy fleeing, so... Oh, there we go. That's Mark Richards with kill number 3 of the battle. Potato might be able to reach that guy who's running if I move him up onto elevated terrain. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Potato with kill number 4. Alright, so now we have 4 brigands left. 3 brigands left. One of them is prepped for running, but 2 are still fighting, so I can't let my guard down just yet. Siren might be able... Yep, there we go. Siren finishes off one and cripples the other, and that guy bolts. Top of round 4. See if a Shizu can get in some hits here. Very nice. Some broken ribs. And I guess my archers could get in a few pot shots. Oh, right, we have that one guy who's running. Let's see if I... Oh. That just leaves the one guy who's running. Now, he's already far enough away that I'm not sure I'll be able to catch him, and that tree is blocking line of sight from most of my archers. I don't have any archers with the bullseye perk, so our chances to hit him in that position are pretty low. I think we'll go ahead and... Yeah, this is going to take a bit. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a bit until something interesting happens. Oh, there we go. Henry Baggins managed to pin down the fleeing brigand right before he hit the edge of the board. I actually wasn't really expecting that. I was so sure he was going to escape, I didn't even bother to move most of these guys up to join us. So I guess now I just need to keep him pinned in place with Henry Baggins while I move up some more support to help him finish off this last brigand. Fortunately, Henry is one of my aspiring shield brothers, so he's a bit more defense-oriented than most of the other frontliners. This is going to take a turn or two. Yeah. I guess I'll try out the lash ability. That goes right for the head, so if it lands... Ah. And that took out his do-rag and inflicted enough damage to take out half his health. One more good hit should finish this guy off. Yeah, there we go. All of my guides are still just out of reach, but they're close enough that this turn I should be able to finish him off no problem. And there he goes. Okay, that was an encouraging, easy battle. Kills across the board, a couple of level ups, some food, we could definitely use that. A bit of gold, some supplies, and a bunch of ender trash, so nothing spectacular, but definitely some useful stuff. Plus, most importantly, that granted us a couple of level ups and boosted our morale significantly. So, I'm going to go ahead and continue on to Eisenwall here. Oh, you find an abandoned wagon amongst some tall reeds. Bunny checks it out and barks back. It's broke as shit, but I think we can salvage parts of it. Well said, Bunny. That was a simple event. Usually the random events are a bit more long-winded and can have good or bad results, but that was a pretty good example of a simple, good encounter. Now you'll notice, of course, that I cannot take the contract that's on offer here in Eisenwall. I'll have to raise my reputation a bit more before the nobles will be willing to hire me. But this is a good opportunity to take care of some bookkeeping, so I'm going to go ahead and handle those level up, sell off our excess inventory, rearrange a bit of equipment, and we'll be right back. And welcome back. Now I've gone ahead and taken care of our inventory management off screen. I went ahead and handled our level ups, of course. Any frontliners who hit level 3, of course, picked up the Colossus perk to bolster their health, though Roderick here is going to need a couple more health boosts. And archers who hit level 3 continued to pick up the Pathfinder perk, just to help them maneuver on the battlefield a bit easier. I don't think I mentioned it before, but since we finished our first aspiration as a mercenary crew, our new one is to visit every town and fortification in the world, which is part of why I am wandering around the world map so much, to visit all these different towns. But it also helps us to find more jobs. Speaking of which, there are 2 contracts available here. I don't think we're ready to take on a 2-skull contract. So let's see what the easier contract might be. It's a pretty straightforward bandit hunting mission. Gold is a little meager, but I think it's a nice, easy contract to continue building up our new mercenaries with. So let's go take a look at Sharp Blade's Ambush and see what challenge it might pose. If we're lucky, there might be 1 or 2 more bandit raiders there. We might get some... Oh, what's going on here? Looks like one lonely brigand being overwhelmed by the Weedermark militia. Tough luck, buddy. Alright, there it is. Sharp Blade's Ambush. Looks like some brigand thugs and some brigand poachers. Let's get in there and mix it up. Now, this battle will be a bit tougher because they have range support, but at the same time it'll be a bit easier because their entire front line lacks any sort of shields. I'm going to prioritize this guy with the flail first, since he can ignore our shields. Nice, almost dead in 1 hit. And... Potato with first blood. Very nice. Or potato with first kill, rather. And there's Fox doling out a hand wound. My secondary priority, I think, is going to be these guys with daggers, since they can ignore armor. Though as soon as their poacher line steps close enough, I'll start hitting... Uh-oh. Looks like they're all focusing their fire on one of our new guys, Ishizu the Blade. I've previously mentioned how devastating those pierced hand injuries can be, so unfortunately, given his low level and skill, that's probably effectively going to take Ishizu out of the fight. But we have 11 more men to make up for it, so as long as I'm careful with him, he should be fine. We'll get our spear wall set up, and I'll put Ishizu into shield wall mode to make it less likely he'll take another unlucky hit. And we'll continue to chip away at their front line, focusing on their dagger guys when possible. There's an arm wound, very nice. Ooh, a grazed neck, even better. And what was that? Internal organ damage? Grazed kidney. Man, you're vicious, Siren. Alright, so they've broken our shield wall. That's not a big deal. There we go, second kill. I think that was Fox. Ooh, what is that? That's stabbed guts. That sounds nasty. There's a third kill. And I'm going to go ahead and move Ishizu up. That way he can use this brigand thug basically as a an obstacle. It'll make it harder for the poachers to hit him with follow-up attacks. Now they're mostly focusing on other guys. More importantly, Ishizu serves to box in the brigands, opening up the southern half of my battle line so that they can go ahead and rush into combat with the poachers. Can Siren finish this guy off? Yep. Siren really tearing it up on the north side. Henry Baggins, our shield bro, snapping bones and crushing skulls. At this point, this battle's pretty much won as well. And things are going really well this time. I guess we're taking on mostly easier battles, but still, this is a big boost to morale and confidence all around. See if I can pick off these poachers now. There we go. That's Fox with a one-hit kill on our first poacher. Potato shearing that guy's face off with a well-placed arrow. Alright, now Faceless Goon, of course, can pin down these two archers. That makes them easy pickings. And the last of their frontliners is dropped by Ishizu the Blade, who I will move back into safety. Now that one Brigand poacher, who I don't have engaged, is probably going to escape. That'll happen from time to time. I do need to pick up some dogs so I can chase down fleeing enemies in the future. But for now I'll just focus on killing these two guys. They're still combat capable. And since they have elevated terrain, I don't really want to take any chances with them. Yeah, since they're on elevated terrain, they have both a higher chance to hit me, while also enjoying a defensive bonus that makes it harder for me to hit them in return. Fortunately, they're not carrying anything heavier than wooden clubs, which I think is literally the worst weapon in the game. Yeah, see? Vlad Kapesh, one of our two weaker new mercenaries, was barely even fazed by that. And he doled out 2 nasty hits in return. Goodbye. That was a leg wound. No, I'm not letting them retreat. This is easy experience and loot. These guys are brigands. I don't feel bad about slaughtering them. In fact, I'll just assume that I let that other guy go intentionally. That way he can spread the word about the Retcon Raiders. Ah. Faceless Goon and Henry Baggins doling out the last 2 kills of the battle. And that netted us 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 level ups. I think a couple of people just hit level 4. Well, that was a nice, easy battle. Nothing heavier than some light flesh wounds. Oh, and some real loot for once. A pile of amber shards. That'll net us a couple hundred gold. And some more vendor trash. I think I can use that flail, though. Well, that was a surprisingly smooth battle. That's 2 down in a single episode with, I don't think, anything heavier than a flesh wound. We're barely at the 20-minute mark here, so I'm going to go ahead and turn in this quest, and we'll see if we can squeeze in another mission once I've taken care of some more off-screen bookkeeping. In fact, you know what? I'm feeling confident enough that I think we'll go ahead and give this 2-skull contract a shot. If it's too dangerous, well, Oh, okay. Well, it's just a caravan delivery, so... yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take that, and I'll handle it off screen with the bookkeeping. And then we'll pick back up in a moment to see if we can find something more interesting to do with our last 10 minutes. And welcome back. Nothing interesting happened on that caravan run. In fact, it only took us about 2 towns down the road. See, we traveled through Weedermark to Firthwacht. Nothing in Firthwacht was interesting, so I traveled further north to Dornan. They have a contract to offer here, but first up, I've gone ahead and taken care of our level ups. Characters who just hit level 4 have started picking up the Brawny perk, which is a bit on the boring side, but it's vital for anyone who wants to use heavier armor, because it reduces the penalty to fatigue and initiative from wearing heavier gear. Now, I've also discovered a Barber, which allows me to cosmetically modify my mercenaries. So, if any of you have special requests, if you have particular hair colors or hairstyles that you want for your mercenaries, let me know. I've already gotten one request from Roderick de Kriegsmesser, who asked me if I could give him a glorious blonde beard befitting a Viking warrior. And the answer is yes. Yes, I can do that. Think that one looks nice? Yeah, that one with the braid. Oops. So, just let me know in the comments below if you want me to customize your mercenaries, and I'll do it whenever I happen to be passing through Dornan, or any other town that has a barber. Now let's take a look here. Appears to be, well, I don't see what the job's about. Oh, there we go. It's an artifact recovery mission for the Shroud of the Founder at the Collapsed Ruins. Still not sure we're ready to take on skeletons. I haven't doled out pole arms to my entire back line. But that is a decent amount of gold, so I'll accept it for now, and if worse comes to worse, I'll just pull the old grab the artifact and run routine. And it's not too far off either, so let's head on over there and see what it looks like. Oh, hold on a second. That looked like... yeah, that's our first orc hunting party. Generally speaking, orcs are much tougher than brigands, but we outnumber these guys 12-4, so... oh, and that's where they came from, Black Boar Lair. A few orc young and an orc berserker. I'm gonna guess that means 1 orc berserker and 3 orc young. And generally speaking, orcs are more heavily armed and armored than your average brigand thug. But when it comes to orc young, they're usually weaker than raiders. The orc berserker there is probably my biggest threat, but because he's completely unarmored, I might be able to cut him down before he can reach our front lines. The biggest thing to watch out for with these guys, with both the Orc Young and the Berserkers, is that they have a special charge move they like to initiate combat with. Once they're close enough, they'll rush into combat with a move that can smash shields and stun the person they're charging. And that could theoretically be devastating. So, the Orc Young all moved up into positions where they can shield the Berserker. I was hoping to kill the Berserker on turn 1, but I guess now I have no choice but to prep my spear wall. Oh, well, okay. He just rushed back out to the front, so this gives me another chance to whittle him down a bit more. Okay, there we go. I was starting to worry I was going to miss every shot, but now we've started to demoralize him, and we've wounded his shoulder. Very nice. So far we've managed to turn these guys away. No significant injuries inflicted, but the longer we can keep them out of melee combat, the better. I would like to finish off that Berserker. He's not running away yet, so he's still theoretically a danger. But again, he's got cover from these guys. An arm injury, very nice. That one just tagged Roderick de Kriegsmesser with a crude javelin. No serious wounds, but that took a big chunk out of my health. Their shields are frail, but unfortunately they still make it a much bigger... Oh dear. Okay, we've got contact. It looks like they charged in and they've stunned both Roderick and Henry Baggins. So first we're going to contain them and start moving around to finish off that Berserker. Got some pretty good hit chances here. Whoa. Okay, that's not good. Alright, Faceless Goon is stunned and bleeding because the Orc Berserker is wielding a cleaver, I think. What is that, a choppa? Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa! What just happened here? Okay, I see Faceless Goon is down. There we go. Orc Berserker has struck down Faceless Goon. Okay. The good news is that means Faceless Goon isn't dead, but he is badly injured, so we need to finish this fight and get him out of here. I absolutely was not expecting that Berserker to dole out so much damage in one turn. The only upside is that with Faceless Goon out of the way, I can pepper him with arrows now. Could someone finish this guy off? Alright, let's move Vlad in there. There we go. Okay. We've only got 2 Orc Young left, 1 still in fighting shape. And, oops, hold on, shoot. I shouldn't have done that with Rondis. Too late to take it back now. He's, bleeding, and he's got a split shoulder, so he's not much good in melee right now. Fortunately, there's just 1 more enemy, so... let's overwhelm him and wrap this up real quick. Things were going so well this session, too. This just shows you how quick things can go downhill. And Faceless Goon has suffered a maimed foot. It's not the worst possible permanent injury, but he's going to be slower now, both initiative-wise and when moving around on the battlefield. Fortunately, I was grooming him as a shield brother, so he doesn't need to be terribly mobile. But it's definitely a nasty penalty. And we've got 4 other level ups, so I guess it wasn't a total loss. We got some dubious foodstuffs. A solid amount of supplies, some vendor trash, though that head chopper could potentially be useful. That's what the Berserker used to dole out all those serious injuries. They're not designed for human use, so they rack up a lot of fatigue pretty quickly. But I might be able to fit it onto my team, and if I decide to sell it, it's still worth a couple 100 coins. Now, I'll go ahead and take care of my level ups off-screen, but for now I need to make a point of pulling the Faceless Goon off the front lines. He is tremendously injured and currently demoralized. And I'll pull Rondis the Uncleaved out too, because split shoulder is a pretty nasty temporary injury. Now in the short term that does mean that we're down 2 men, but we've still got a 10-man squad, which I think should be sufficient to burn that layer to the ground. And then maybe recover that artifact. But we'll pick up there next time. Well, that was a bit of a disheartening finish. I suppose that just goes to show you how quickly your luck can turn in Battle Brothers, and sadly I'm sure it's far from the last time we'll see a battle suddenly take a turn for the worse. The faceless goon was maimed today, but he's still alive, and for the moment he's got Rondis keeping him company on the sidelines. At the very least, I should be grateful that Goon didn't get saddled with one of the more career-ending permanent injuries, like a broken joint or a collapsed lung. Pretty soon I'll have to start thinking about bringing in some more mercenaries for situations exactly like this one, where we can't field a full squad in battle because of injuries. At the moment, I've still got 5 people on the waiting list to get into the Raiders, with Red 833 at the top of the list, since I got Burke the Red Spear killed pretty quickly. I'll probably bring him back in under the same name, but Red, if you'd like me to use a new name, just let me know in the comments. And, of course, there's always room for more recruits. As we saw today, being a mercenary is a career fraught with peril. We're going to need more meat for the grinder sooner or later, so if you'd like to sign up for service with the Retcon Raiders, just let me know in the comments below, and be sure to mention if you have any specific preferences when it comes to name, appearance, or character build. But, as always, nothing offensive. Let's try to keep things classy. Now, I've got some level ups to take care of, so for now this is Retcon Raider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, or the fan-run wiki. Links are in the description.